Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. The Southwest TV Translator Association underwrites the news, and Dolores County Broadcasting Network provides the support for DCTV.
Here at the News at Noon show, we assemble the best and most interesting news from the area, and Jerry Tope brings you the local weather and related news. Give us a call with news tips or topics you'd like to see covered. The number is 677-4119.
We are glad you tuned in to watch DCTV. Today's show is live on Tuesday at noon and rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired on Friday at noon, 3 and 6.
Coming up, fire alert, a ham shoot in Mancos, and more.
And also hunting license changes, more boat issues with weather, the sheriff's report, and area happenings. Today is April 18th, 2017, and now the news at noon. Breaking news, an important warning from the Cortez Journal. The National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning for west central and southwest Colorado for Tuesday today from 1 to 8 p.m. Gusty winds and low humidity will create weather conditions that will allow new or existing fires to grow rapidly and become hard to control, according to the Weather Service. Dry conditions are expected Tuesday afternoon and evening as a cold front approaches southwest Colorado from the west, bringing 25 to 35 mile per hour southwestern winds and 15% humidity. Recent dry weather has primed low elevation vegetation in Montezuma and La Plata counties for fire, and that should also include Dolores County. Local temperatures are expected to reach the middle to upper 70s on Tuesday before falling into the middle and upper 60s on Wednesday and Thursday. Mostly clear or partly cloudy skies are forecast throughout till Sunday. Last Friday, an unintended campfire caused a small wildfire at the Boggy Draw, as we reported yesterday, burning about a half acre of grass and timber. A fire crew with the San Juan National Forest assisted the Dolores Fire Protection District in putting out the blaze, an effort that took almost 2 hours. Dolores responded with 2 brush trucks and 2 tankers, and the Forest Service sent a crew and engine. All of the fire district personnel are on alert, as should residents. This is not a good time to burn weeds or brush. Be aware of these conditions and report smoke if you see it.
According to the Durango Herald, the cost of hunting and fishing in Colorado may increase by as much as 50% in coming years. House Bill 1321, which would raise the cap across the board for hunting and fishing licenses and incrementally increase the price over the next few years, was passed Monday by the House Agriculture, Livestock, and Natural Resources Committee on an 8-5 vote. These fee increases would be for licenses purchased by Colorado residents and not for out-of-state visitors, who already pay a substantially higher rate. For annual fishing licenses, the cap would increase from $25 to $37.50, while the cap for small game permits would be $30, deer $45, and elk $67.50. In addition to raising license fees, the bill would implement a number of other measures to raise funds for the Colorado Parks and Wildlife, including raise fines for illegal activity to twice the cost of the license fee. For example, if a person is caught fishing without a license, $37.50 under the new proposal, he or she would be fined $75. Institute a fee for annual fishing licenses for seniors who currently receive it for free. Increase entrance fees for state parks. Establish a fee on water vehicles to fund the Aquatic Nuisance Species program that looks to remove non-native species from Colorado's waterways. The funding from it would go to Colorado Parks and Wildlife, which does not receive tax revenue and is dependent on user fees, said Joe Lewandowski, spokesman for CPW in Durango. The lack of a fee increase has resulted in an estimated 22% drop in buying power of the organization, as its revenue has failed to keep up with the price of inflation across the state, Lewandowski said. I don't think there is a business in the state that can say they haven't raised prices since 2005. While the bill allows for the increase in the maximum price, it doesn't actually raise the price, but rather leaves it to the discretion of CPW, said Representative Jenny Arndt, Democrat of Fort Collins and sponsor of HB 1321.
In a nonprofit shuffle, the Durango Chamber of Commerce building is being purchased. So what happens next? The Durango Herald reports, in a game of musical offices, the city of Durango will purchase the Durango Chamber of Commerce building in Santa Rita Park. So the chamber plans to move to the 2300 block of Main Avenue, and a nonprofit on North Main Avenue will have to find a new home. The grand reshuffling is expected to play out over the next few years, according to a news release issued Monday by the Chamber of Commerce. The real estate closing on the Chamber building will take place when City Manager Ron LeBlanc returns from out of the country. Chamber staff will move out next week, so the building will be available to the city as of May 1st. The city's utility department is expected to move into the Chamber building to oversee construction of the new wastewater treatment plant, which is set to break ground in June and be completed in 2019. The purchase will not be completed until it's approved by the Durango City Council, which is expected to take place on May 2nd or May 16th. Interim City Manager Kevin Hall said the purchase price will not be released until closing papers are signed, as is common with city property deals. Once the plant project is completed, the property will become part of Santa Rita Park. Redevelopment of the park will be a public process that METS expects to begin in the next several months. The Chamber building is where public restrooms are located for both Santa Rita and Whitewater parks, but the wastewater treatment plant will have restrooms with outside entrances, so that need will need to be addressed there. What happens after the construction is finished isn't clear yet. It may be that the building goes away and new park amenities like volleyball and basketballs are built in that location, or the building could be used for other purposes. The Chamber of Commerce plans to construct a new headquarters at 2301 Main Avenue, tearing down the A-frame building on the site. Construction of the new building is expected to take 18 to 24 months. In the meantime, the Chamber will set up temporary offices above the Bank of Colorado. La Plata Youth Services, which works with at-risk youth, is currently housed in that A-frame building. In an ironic twist, the Chamber was housed in the A-frame for a number of years in the 1970s and 80s before moving to its Santa Rita Park location in 1986. The Durango Chamber of Commerce was in the middle of a $1.5 million fundraising campaign to expand its building in Santa Rita Park and has raised about half of that money. Those funds will now be directed towards the new building.
According to the Cortez Journal, Montezuma Land Conservancy has acquired an 80-acre farm northwest of Cortez that the group hopes can become a community resource, MLC Outreach and Education Coordinator Jay Loschert said April 12th. "We're learning tons about the land and how to take care of it," he said. "We see this as an opportunity to share this with the community." The farm is located on Great Sage Plain land just west of U.S. Highway 491 near Lewis. Montezuma Land Conservancy acquired the plot in October, Loschert said. He hopes to work with community members to figure out how to use the land in the best way, he said. MLC staff members currently are putting together a team of local experts to get together to help them do that, he said. On April 12th, a small group of students from Southwest Open School was on the farm. They were digging a trench to collect soil samples and helping survey the land to determine how many seeds would need to be purchased. SWOS teacher Matt Robinson said one of the school's design principles involves stewardship of nature. Last year, SWOS students worked with MLC in Weber Canyon, Robinson said. They helped plant willow trees on a ranch near Menifee Mountain to prevent erosion. These students will use their time on the farm to learn about the soil on the property, which is part of the Dove Creek loess that blew over from Utah, Robinson said.
Today's marijuana moment comes from thecannabis.co. State lawmakers approved a bill Monday that would allow counties to levy and collect sales tax on recreational marijuana, a move inspired by a standoff between Adams County and 3 of its cities that could wind up in the state Supreme Court. The measure, if signed into law by Governor John Hickenlooper, would allow counties to impose a pot tax in unincorporated areas without challenge, but would have to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with cities and towns to tax weed there. Adams County caught the wrath of Commerce City, North Glen, and Aurora in 2015 when the 3 cities challenged the county's decision to impose a 3% tariff on recreational pot sold throughout the county, regardless of whether municipalities had already instituted their own marijuana sales tax. The cities argued in their lawsuit that by layering an additional tax on a transaction, Adams County was putting their marijuana businesses at a competitive disadvantage to shops in nearby counties that didn't have to charge an additional levy. The appeals court agreed with the cities, ruling that even though the tax was approved by Adams County voters, the county, quote, does not have either constitutional or statutory authorization to impose a special sales tax on retail marijuana. Representative Steve Lebsock, Democrat from Thornton, the bill's sponsor, said he hopes his measure serves as an acceptable workaround while Adams County continues its legal fight with its cities. Adams County has been collecting the tax since it first went into effect in July of 2015. County spokesman Jim Siedlecki said it has continued to do so even after the appeals court decision in December. He said more than $1.5 million has been collected so far and is tracked separately in the county's general fund.
Reported by the Durango Herald, dozens of beached sailboats that spent 2 years on the shore of Utah's drought-stricken Great Salt Lake were hoisted on cranes back into the briny waters Thursday after winter storms raised lake levels. "Mother Nature has been very kind to us," said Jeanette Robbins, the commodore of the 140-year-old Great Salt Lake Yacht Club, comprised of the self-proclaimed world's saltiest sailors. Robbins and other sailors watched and helped on the docks Thursday as sailboats, one at a time, were raised from their high and dry purgatory in the marina parking lot, carried across the sky on a crane, and lowered into the water. The Great Salt Lake, about 75 miles long and 30 miles wide, is America's largest outside of the Great Lakes on the Canadian border, and its waters are about 3 to 5 times saltier than the ocean. It's a harsh environment for most creatures outside of salt-loving brine shrimp, but the mineral-packed lake is a sailing haven. The dense water isn't easily whipped up by wind, keeping it calm for sailboats gliding across. The state-run marina, about 20 miles west of Utah's capital city, sits on the lake's southern shore and offers about 300 slips for boat owners to rent and park their boats. After an unusually high snowpack 6 years ago raised water levels 5 feet, water levels dropped, skirting historic lows in recent years. Most of the 175 boats waiting ashore on trailers and cradles were temporarily removed 2 years ago, when their keels had a tough time navigating the few feet of water at the mouth of the marina. Most stayed ashore because it's difficult to transport long sailboats with their masts and extended keels across Utah to other lakes where sailors would contend with less than ideal waters, more drought, and waiting lists for a space at the dock. And now here's our weather report.
The National Weather Service updates for today include an increase in wind speeds, with southern parts of the western slope having gusty winds this afternoon. Steady speeds of 25 to 35 miles an hour are expected. With fuels in the area at critical, a fire weather warning begins at 1 p.m. and continues till 8 p.m. tonight. The area affected is basically everything on the west slope from Grand Junction all the way to our southern border with New Mexico. Another fire weather warning is likely Thursday, as an interacting push from another northwest trough will aggravate wind in the area again. Today's winds are a consequence of interaction with a front that will be entering northeast Utah and our upper left Colorado corner between 6 and 9 p.m. today. So tonight through Wednesday, some showers will occur over in the same area north of I-70, and the San Juans may be a quarter of an inch of rain, and an inch or so of snow is possible in the central mountains. The far northern mountains may see 1 to 3 inches of new snow. Some showers will linger into Thursday in the northern mountains, but of course all the fire weather area is just going to be dry and windy. A couple of weakening Pacific systems will send moisture across the west, spreading rain and high elevation snow across the region today, then into the northern plains on Wednesday. Another round is forecast for the Pacific Northwest and Northern California Wednesday and beyond. The one spreading into the northern plains will reach the Great Lakes tomorrow and will continue covering much of the Midwest, Upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and Mid-Atlantic, and the Northeast by late Wednesday. To the south of the front, a line of thunderstorms may develop ahead of a dry line in the Central Plains. Today, mild and drier conditions should return to New England and portions of the Mid-Atlantic. Light rain will be possible on Wednesday as easterly winds transport moisture from the Atlantic Ocean inland by Wednesday. So, for the southeast, showers and thunderstorms are forecast to linger along a stationary front. Moisture from the southeast will spread northward and merge with moisture arriving from the Great Lakes over the Ohio Valley and the Appalachians. By Wednesday evening, northern New England could see the arrival of some wintry precipitation. High temperatures over the next 5 days are still very reasonable and will begin in the upper 60s, lower Friday to the upper 50s, and then climb to 71 for Sunday. Lows will wander in the upper and middle 30s till Sunday night, hopes to reach 41. Now back to the news.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, the Colorado Independent Cattle Growers Association is accepting applications for a summer intern. This program is open to all who are 18 and over and are a graduating high school senior or current college student, according to a CICA news release. Applications can be found on the CICA website, www.coloica.com. The application deadline is April 21st. CICA internship provides $1,000 to the successful applicant who will work an 8-week work-from-home internship in June and July. The intern will assist the convention committee in planning the annual convention, preparing and sending news releases, and assisting the secretary. A bonus may be offered upon completion of the program, the announcement said. The Colorado Independent Cattle Growers Association was formed in June 2005 to promote policy that will benefit the live cattle industry.
An AP journalist, Dan Elliott, informed us yesterday of a Bureau of Reclamation plan that some locals may find of interest. Many of our viewers regularly take fishing, boating, and houseboat trips and vacations to Lake Powell, and maybe a few have also seen or visited Lake Mead. The two reservoirs are a part of the Colorado River system. That system supplies water to about 40 million people and 6,300 square miles of farmland in 7 states and 20 Indian reservations. Mexico is also entitled to a share by treaty. A prolonged drought and rising demand for water have overtaxed the river. Some researchers say global warming is also affecting water flows. The Bureau of Reclamation manages dams and reservoirs on the Colorado River. Marlon Duke, a Bureau of Reclamation spokesman, said the Bureau will release 9 million acre-feet from Lake Powell, sending it down the Colorado into Lake Mead, to be tapped by Arizona, California, and Nevada. An acre-foot can supply 2 typical homes for a year. The agency had previously thought it could release 11.1 million acre-feet, but a dry early March with less than expected snow in the mountains reduced that amount. A shortage would trigger cuts in water deliveries to Arizona and Nevada, the first states to be hit under a multi-state agreement and rules concerning the Colorado River. A shortage was expected next year, but this plan pushes that into the future. But Mr. Duke said it's too soon to tell how far. Melting snow is expected to raise the level of Lake Powell by about 50 feet by mid-July. But after the 9 million acre-feet is released, the reservoir will still be about 35 feet higher on October 1st than it is now. Some have said the dam needs to be done away with, as the lake is a sandstone reservoir and through leakage and evaporation loses hundreds of thousands of acre-feet per year. On the other hand, Lake Mead can't hold it all, and hydroelectric power would take a beating, and the water is too greatly needed by too many to just let it all go. So a better long-term solution is needed, and soon. So a decision in December to keep the dam going for another 20 years is only a time buyer, but maybe a needed one.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, Abdel Barreda, who has served as the manager and senior research scientist at the center for more than 20 years, plans to move to a part-time position at the end of the year. Colorado State University leadership has appointed Kathleen Russell, a doctoral student at the University of Kentucky, to replace him. She is scheduled to start at the beginning of September. "We're excited to have her," CSU Extension Agent Tom Hooten said. "She's highly qualified. We're really hoping to take the Experiment Center in a new direction under her leadership." Hooten, who was part of the research team for the position, said he got 12 to 15 applications for the manager position from across the country. But he and the rest of the team eventually decided Russell's experience made her the best suited for the job, particularly because of her background in reaching out to young farmers. He said that's an area where he wants to see the research center grow. Russell currently works as an agriculture research specialist in the Department of Plant and Soil Science at UK. She will move to Montezuma County with her family over the summer, and Hooten said he and the rest of the CSU Department of Agriculture staff will do their best to make her feel at home. He said Russell will likely visit the center a few times over the summer and participate in some public meetings. Barretas will continue his full-time work through the end of the year and will finish some projects he's currently leading at the experiment station.
You've heard of turkey shoots. Well, introducing the Mancos Ham Shoot, as reported by the Cortez Journal. For those who braved the strong winds a week ago, the Ham Shoot, sponsored by the Mancos Valley Historical Society, provided fun and prizes. First round winners using 12-gauge shotguns were J. Michael Rodri in first place and Victoria Lewis in second place and third place. Second round winners were Steve Watkins in first place, Matt Lauer in second place, and Eldon Simmons in third place. In the third round, winners were Eldon Simmons in first place, Steve Watkins in second, and Michael Rodri in third place. First place winners received premium hams from P&D Grocery in Mancos. Also during the shoot was a BB gun competition for children. Winners were Addie Fries, Cody Lewis, and Samantha Simmons. All competitors were provided with Easter treats and hot dogs. The shoot took place at the Simmons Gravel Pit on U.S. Highway 160. The event raised $200, which will go towards the planned Historical Museum in Mancos. Also, the Mancos Valley Historical Society will present Little Black Dresses April 22nd at 7 p.m. at the historic Bauer House in Mancos. This women's event will feature music by local artists, elegant hors d'oeuvres, beverages, and a clothing review. All attending will be invited to participate in the dress review, with prizes given in categories including Little Black Dresses, Historical Evening Wear, and Audrey Hepburn lookalikes. Door prizes will be awarded throughout the evening. There will be a charge of $20 at the door, with proceeds going to the museum fund. All area women are welcome, and any color or style of evening wear is appropriate. Looks like they are really hamming it up in Mancos this spring.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of April 10th through the 16th. A resident reported cows loose on Highway 141. The owner of the cows was notified and the animals returned to pasture without incident. Animal Control informed the Sheriff's Office of a dog reported missing in town. Animal Control updated the office that the dog and its family were reunited. A deputy responded for a motorist assist at a town business. A woman was reported passed due from a hike on the east face of Mount Wilson. The hiker was off her course and found herself nearly 2 miles from her vehicle. That's it for today's roundup. Stay tuned for continuing updates.
For today's High Country happenings, the Montelores Wizarding Academy is offering a summer camp, July 10th through the 12th for ages 9 through 12 and July 17th through the 19th for ages 6 through 8. The camp runs Monday through Wednesdays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Southern Bluffs Clubhouse, 801 Bluffs Boulevard in Cortez. The cost is $150 per camper with family discounts offered. Register online at cortezvision.com. The Mesa Verde Aquatics Club has its seasonal enrollment underway. The practice schedule is available online. Dates run from May 15th to the 26th and May 30th to July 28th. For more details, call Paula Podgornoff, 970-739-5625, or Miranda Liddington at 405-308-9014, or email swim.mvac@gmail.com. And don't forget, the Denver Broncos Salute to Fans Tour is stopping in Cortez at the Parque de Vida on April 21st from 4:30 to 6 p.m. Autograph and photo opportunities with players, cheerleaders, and Miles, the mascot. For more details, visit denverbroncos.com/salute. All of the happenings are posted up on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the embedded YouTube replays, weather and original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us at dcbnnews@gmail.com or call us here at the station, 677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on the air.
Thanks for tuning in. This program is live at noon Monday through Wednesday, then it is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 3, and 6.
We're also featuring a live call-in show called Talk Tuesday. It's aired live Tuesday evenings at 5:30 p.m. and then rebroadcast throughout the week at 5:30. Be sure to check out our Facebook page. It has all the links and details with original stories and the video replays. Please like us there and share the link.
For Kendra Cook, Jerry Tope, and everyone at DCTV with the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.